Let's see. Let's see. Welcome to the carousel. I am John MusiM. With me I have Scott.
Hey!
I have Jake.
It's beard growing season, boys.
And Joey, is that you?
It's me!
You made a promise, Joey.
I did make a promise. And I broke it.
And Joey already has the beard, too.
Okay.
We're covered.
Sadly,
I
Sorry, my mic has a fancy echo switch that I decided to test out.
That was great.
All right. Oh, man. Actually, Joey, can you turn yourself up just a tiny bit?
Yeah, I can. Well, let's see. That's a size.
That's a lot better.
There you go.
That's good. That's plenty.
Just get your face next to the mic. Just
Yeah.
fucking it that way and everything.
Let's immediately
out
make
with
a bunch of shit I need to edit out. Like that
Right,
sounds
exactly.
That's right.
Might as well get it out of the way at the beginning.
Yeah. No.
That's what we're doing. Sure.
John.
Oh, I have too many icons open. So, did you guys have a good Christmas break?
Nope.
That's what everyone wants to talk about on these podcasts, right? Is what we did over
break.
Christmas break and what we
got
did at
sick.
a house and
Yeah, I got sick twice over Christmas break.
I just
got sick on all the games you were playing that were awesome.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
I
shit,
think
yo.
I might have forgotten to eat a few times. That might have lowered my immune system. That's,
God.
That's probably what actually happened. Fucking Fallout.
By lowering your immune system, you mean increasing your BAC. Then I'll believe you.
I didn't drink much this this holiday season. I guess I drank a little bit on New Year's, but that was at home after the kids went to bed because we had a rockin' New Year's Eve at home where we watched fucking Scooby-Doo
Oh man.
until like midnight until the kids fell asleep.
So it's just been all Fallout over there for you, you know, like
Yeah,
tripping
it's been-
out on all the rads.
Yeah, but I definitely ate too many sugar bombs, ratted out. It was bad.
I think they actually made like a promotional cereal for that this time around.
Did they really? I saw the Nuka-Cola stuff. Like,
Did you ever get it?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Because I think you have to work for Target to get it.
I think
Yeah.
so. Like, that's the only way you could ever get freaking Nuka-Cola.
Or, $100 on eBay probably.
Is it still? Are they still selling it, or was it just for that 1 month?
I think it was just that 1 month. I
They're
think it was
supposed to bring it back, and a bunch of people on the internet were losing their shit about how the employees took it the first time, and so I don't know if they ever followed up with it, but I decided I'm not getting up and driving to Target or Walmart at 7:30 in the morning on a Tuesday just to get a can of Coke. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, my charisma roll is way too low to get any of it from Target employees, I think.
Was it actual Coke or was it something else?
It
I
was
said
from,
Jones.
it was Jones Cola.
Jones
Yeah.
Cola, the only people that really could make.
Well, I'm sorry,
like
Jones
Quantum.
is soda. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was probably one of their colas.
Yeah.
Well, the Nuka-Cola was a cola, but they also made a Quantum that was like bright blue raspberry or something like that.
Ah, nice. I didn't know that.
That would be pretty. That'd be nice.
I would
There's
totally do.
there's a guy that I used to go to a lot of conventions, and he's a member of the 501st. His name is Jeremy Faber, and he every year would make Nuka-Cola Quantum, and like he made bottles and everything like that, and it was all very high alcohol content stuff.
Now we're talking. Oh yeah, see, you can get one on eBay, a Nuka-Cola Quantum for the low price of $3,684.
What?
God damn!
Fuck that!
Wow.
No way, no way.
But there's no tax. There's $3 shipping, but you don't have to pay tax on it.
None of this would happen if they just paid those people fucking $15 an hour. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no shit.
So how do you like in Fallout 4? You're playing it on PS4?
Yeah, I'm playing on PS4. I'm really super late to the party on it, and I know that, and I am owning that. But
How's it running for you?
It's running fine for me. There's only been a couple of times where it's bugged out bad enough for me to have to stop playing or worry about my save data. So I count that as a success with a Bethesda game. If it's less than two times in a week, then I think that's good. That's an improvement.
Between the quick saves, between the quick saving, which is at least super fast on PC, and the fact that anytime you go somewhere, it generates a new save file.
Yeah.
It's always scary.
Anytime you look at your Pip-Boy as well, like when you come out at autosaves, which is pretty nice. Although it didn't help me a whole hell of a lot when I was doing one of the major first story missions in there. Like I went through the entire room before you have to kill a certain bald dude. And I got to that spot and I died and realized I had not saved the entire time, and I was so pissed off.
Well, it will. There's a parameter on it where it will autosave when you open your Pip-Boy. It's like on a rolling 5-minute timer.
Yeah.
So if 5 minutes has gone by and you haven't opened your Pip-Boy, the next time you do, it'll save.
Yeah. See, I don't know how the hell I got through that entire room without opening my Pip-Boy and having it autosave. So I kind of call bullshit on a lot of it because I feel like it should have autosaved for me. But I was pissed off too because I had got Nick to open up to hack a terminal that I was way under the ability to do in that room, and then I went in there as well and picked a lock that was a little bit difficult. I went through like 3 bobby pins on it and got a freaking fat man and was so excited about it, and then died on the boss fight, and then had to just do the whole freaking room over again. And I couldn't get him, like he got locked out of the terminal every single time I tried to get him to hack it for me that time, so I was pissed off.
Yeah, they give you a Fat Man, which for those who don't know is a local area tactical nuke launcher.
Yeah.
And they give it to you right before they put you in a boss fight in an enclosed room.
Yeah, exactly.
So limited effectiveness.
Yeah, but you just shove the Fat Man in there and run out.
I literally have no idea what section of the game you're talking about. Like, I got a Fat Man. Like, I have multiple Fat Men. Like, I have.
Yeah, you did.
I keep a line of Fat Men at my house, lined up on the wall, just ready for me to mount on my shoulder.
Different paint jobs.
So,
custom grips.
Like, are you talking about tracking the one dude?
Yeah, the breakfast cereal dude.
You see him very early in the game.
Yeah, it's very early in the game. Like, it's not a big spoiler. And then the Kellogg part.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Dragon Kellogg, like that whole fort that he's penned up in one of the rooms has a Fat Man in it with a couple mini nukes. Yeah, right before you get into that boss fight in the super enclosed area with the synths.
So I've spent like well over, 60, 80 hours in the game, and I don't think I've done a story beat beyond that point.
Oh yeah, you haven't. See, I'm on. God, I've gone through. I played a shitload longer than just to that point, but I still have only gotten to the second part, the part after that, in the actual main storyline because I've done so much side quest bullshit.
So Joey, you've been doing a lot of wandering then, yeah?
Yeah, I have been.
Did you run into a guy named Absalom?
Absalom? No.
Absalom?
I don't think I have yet. I don't I've run into a lot of really kind of weird wandering traders and stuff like that, and a couple of what seemed like unique dialogue events, but that name doesn't sound familiar.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily know who he was. Like, I'm still doing the samurai thing, and I ran around a corner. I was going through like the commons or something like that, and I ran around a corner, and there's this named guy named Absalom. And as far as I can tell, he's not part of a quest. I just ran across him, but he's red. He's hostile. So I go to charge up on him, and I fell through the earth. And it was the first falling through the earth game bug I ran into. But somehow, like, there was water in the level design under where I was standing. So
like they had scrapped it or like built over the top of it.
Yeah, like it was part of the ocean. Like they just threw another layer on top. And so there were these weird rocks that were like half embedded in, like from on top of the earth. They would look like they were just stuck in the ground, but they were actually, the models went under the earth. So I'm hopping up on these, and meanwhile Dogmeat's, this Absalom guy's shooting at him, and Dogmeat's like trying to wreck him, and I just popped up from through the earth behind him, and cut him down, and his dying words were, "Well, that never happens." Or, no, I'm sorry.
Nice.
That's never happened before. And I was like, what the fuck?
So
Did he
Weird.
see me fall through the earth?
And comments on it afterwards.
they have to have deliberately just left that in there, knowing there's always a goddamn geometry bug in their games.
Well, no, that's the fucked up part, because I had to look it up today, because I have to know what I'm talking about when it comes to this before I bring it up. That's actually, he says that no matter when you kill him, regardless of a bug or not.
Okay, so it just
Really?
He's
Kill him,
based
like,
on
that never happens.
he's based on some ancient Jewish king who was like one of the sons of David, who just went on this warpath and conquered everybody. And so
Yeah.
that's the joke, that he never dies. It was such a weird confluence of events. Oh, fuck me up.
Oh, weird.
Is it Faulkner that wrote Absalom? Absalom? Is that? I'm trying to remember. I think that's the title of a Faulkner book. I can't remember. I just remember from I know.
I have no
at some
Faulknering
point.
clue.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
And man, just imagine trying to talk to his mom as Mother Faulkner.
Ah, jeez.
I'm not helping anything here.
You guys are falking this all up.
Oh!
Oh, there we go.
I know. You just falked it all over your faces.
Yeah.
Just falked it into the ground. That's where I'm taking this fucking
Still,
I'm
we're still
fucking thing.
It's pretty fucked out at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... Scott, you want to put it out of its misery from a distance?
yeah,
Like
we're
an
sniping everything here.
Yeah.
Shoot it through the balls.
Yeah.
Falk
Okay.
it like an elite motherfucker.
Falk it like it's hot.
Come on, Faulkner!
Oh my God, that's
okay,
enough.
okay.
Okay, anyway. Anyway, more Fallout stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We won't go on the
okay.
sniper elite then.
Okay, we can in just a second. Let me. I forget what else I was going to say.
Fuck Scott, I'm gonna talk more. No, I'm kidding.
But anyway, I like this one a lot more than I've liked any of the other ones I've ever played. I haven't ever really gotten very far in 3 or New Vegas because I just ended up kind of just not being engaged enough during it, and I know that would get me shot in most circles. But this one, I think, having a dude that talks and a little bit more of a central plot line based around your character has really kind of motivated me to play through it a lot more, even though I haven't played through so much of the central storyline.
So I got a question. Because the intro didn't do anything for me, and part of me wonders if it's, well, one, of course, I rolled up a chick, so the intro movie was in a dude's voice, but 2,
Yeah.
like, the parent storyline didn't grab me. I was wondering if the parent storyline immediately grabbed you as a parent with a young child in the house.
It totally did. It completely endeared me to the dude. Like it was hard to watch it during the whole Frozen part because I was like, fuck, what the hell would I do? And it's influenced my playthrough too. Like I'm a man on a warpath for my son. Like
Just killing every bald
I'm just
man you come
killing
across.
everybody that like won't give me information. I'm like, fuck you. Shit.
Oh no, I can't play this thing. I will
You just
be
have
the
to Jonah
vengeance-
Hex them.
Dude, I'll
Yeah.
be the vengeance fucking king. No, I can't play that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you probably didn't know that, Scott. The main storyline, and you find this out in the first 5 minutes of the
5 minutes
game, but is you're frozen in time and wake up in the future, and your like 6-month-old or year-old baby was stolen while you were frozen.
While you were frozen, and you see him get stolen, and then it kind of you get frozen again for a minute, so you're not sure how the hell long you've been frozen since the kid was taken. So that's like a big. At least that
running
was
out
like
the
the first
door.
5 minutes. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, so he could be a 40-something right along with you, or he could.
Yeah, you have
be
no
5.
idea. Yeah, you have no idea when you get out.
Oh
So-
my god, I would turn into Liam Neeson.
Where's my son?
So
If that was a dialogue option for everything, I would pick it every time.
Yeah.
Where's my son? Where's my
I have
son?
a certain set of skills. I'm
And a
shooting you in the face.
you
I
make
almost should have been
And
better.
a wide array of junk to use at my disposal.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I see now the Fallout games. I've never felt motivated to play. I've tried to play them, and I just can't quite give a damn. Yet that would be a motivator, but it would be the wrong kind of motivator.
If you had a chance of
would
liking
know.
any of the Fallout games, Scott, I think it would be this one.
Yeah, I
'cause
think
the
it would be
shooting
too.
is way better in this one.
Oh,
than
God,
the
it's
last
so
one.
much
I
better.
freely
That's the other
admit that
thing
I
that's
am
hated.
getting interested in playing it, but now I'm a little worried about how mean a fucker I would turn into when playing it.
Be as mean as you want.
Because yeah, but the thing is that I have this thing where I play games kind of according to my own actual personality tuning. And if I get too mad, I start like getting too into it because I realize that there are no consequences in the game, and I'll come back from it kind of go, Jesus.
So,
And then like really second guess myself going, am I that mean normally?
here's my concern also about you in a Bethesda game, Scott, is I think about the amount of time you spend choosing the colors for your Warframe. And then I think of you inside a game where you get to do that to everything to a degree. Like,
Oh no. I remember when Justin let me borrow Fallout 3, and I didn't realize I spent an hour and a half dicking around with a face creator.
and on top of that, at
Oh,
the
the face
beginning of
creator
the
at
game,
the beginning. Oh my god.
Yeah, which
You
you never
have-
see yourself again!
Here's-
How fucking useless was that shit?
they let you create the face for you and your significant other in the beginning.
What the hell?
So,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, hold on. How many creepy exes do you think are really living vicariously through that right now? Oh my god.
They're
Like,
not living
we're-
vicariously for very long times in the game. Let's just
No,
say it that way.
Let's just say that.
yeah, but can you imagine how many? Oh God! So then just goes the other way, still living vicariously, going, "I'm glad she's dead." You know? Oh,
wow, that's messed up.
yeah.
That's
but-
really messed up.
Well, I mean, in the day and age of gaming we live in, oof.
I don't. My mind has never gone there when making like a character in game. It's always
yeah, but
been
see,
like,
I don't trust people.
It's always been what do I think is hot, or
I'm not sure
Mostly
what's
it's like,
worse.
well, it's really cool that you can do all this. Okay, just give me one of my fucking preset faces because I'm
How many-
done here.
so then you have to wonder how many people have made Karen Gillian. You know?
So another interesting part about that game is occasionally you'll flash back, and you can change your appearance later in the game. When you do the flashback, you still look like you did at the time, and not how you do presently. So
Really?
Oh, that's nice.
That
Oh.
is awesome.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, I just keep changing my face all the time.
yeah, because like I actually well, I don't know how often you flash back, but I know in the Kellogg battle or right before it or something like that, you have a flashback, and that is where I noticed it. I was like, oh wow, look kind of different there, but.
Okay, so what you're
Anyway.
telling me is when this goes on the next holiday sale on Steam, I'm going to have to look at getting it.
Maybe
You
so.
should. I like it a lot. It's been a massive improvement for me over the last Fallout games because the shooting in the old ones always bothered the fuck out of me. And this one, it at least
Oh, yeah.
I can at least play it somewhat without, having to be in VATS the entire time.
I'd never use VATS. so-
I use it like very. Like when I need to pause and think about stuff for a minute, maybe cripple a couple of people. Like that's when I'll use it. But
When you
like,
need a moment, you can grab
I
a
need a
Snickers,
moment to
or you
cripple.
can cripple people.
yeah,
That's right. When you need a moment to cripple a guy.
VATS.
As much as I want to keep talking about Fallout,
I
we
know.
probably need to keep moving it along.
We
so-
probably do, but I like it a lot. There's a shit ton more I could say about it, but it's probably already been said before.
So Scott,
I-
I know we brought up Sniper Elite a minute ago, but we're gonna have to move on. And no,
Oh, dick.
so Sniper
I
Elite.
have a game I actually have in-depth experience in, and I've gone,
Just got real.
We got cut all your time. I'm sorry.
I got Sniper Elite 3 the other day because it went on sale on the Steam holiday sale, and it was funny because I was on the fence about it, going, would I really want a sniping game? And the answer is yes. It is definitely yes. I looked at it just before we started the show here. I have 13 solid hours in that fucking game,
Oh, jeez.
and I just got it the other day. I finished the first mission in a city called in a village called Gabaroon.
Mm-hmm.
It's set in World War II, Africa core. So it's the African desert.
Oh wow, that's area of World War II you don't see very many games placed in that theater at all.
Yeah, and they're actually keeping it relatively historically not fully accurate, but fairly.
Yeah.
Super stealthy and sneaky.
Yes, it is. Although I'm playing on regular difficulty because I refuse to. I still love myself a little. Oh my god! I looked at the difficulty settings. They actually have one that simulates real physics as much as they can possibly manage. And
wind
even
speed and drop and all that.
Wind speed, drop, heart rate, fatigue from holding the gun up.
Jeez.
All of that shit. I mean, as is normal difficulty, you're watching it, and eventually that scope starts to drift because you've been holding on too long, waiting for some machine to make a noise to disguise your fire.
Now, could you take the gun and put it on like a wall or something to mitigate that, or?
So far, I haven't found a spot where it will do it, and you figure that he's commandoing this, so really there's not too much of that, but there maybe should be. That's the one thing I've been thinking about that, and I haven't found a spot where I can do it in the game. But I just finished the first map, the first mission on Gabaroon. I had to do it a second time because there was a kind of a little fuck you surprise, and I wasn't able to complete the mission in time.
So real quick, because I've heard several podcasts go over this game, and I don't think either the game is like so simple a concept that I'm just not getting it, or they haven't described it well. Is like, what's the mission setup? Are you sneaking to a certain location that you know they're going to be at? Do you have to do any surveillance pre-hand? Like,
there's a bit of all of it, and the thing is that the game already has, even at normal difficulty, the AIs will figure out approximately where you are and come look for you, and you have to either be ready to actually gun them down with a normal machine gun, or if you think you're froggy, you know, use a silenced pistol and pick them off in the head short range before they can get to you.
So what's to stop you from just walking into the complex with a machine gun?
Oh, well, you don't score as high, and they will swamp your ass like a little closer to real.
Okay.
Because you have no body armor. You're just a fucking sniper in World War II, cotton canvasy pants, jacket, shirt, the legit stuff. And so you can't fuck around. You will get shot. You will get hurt. In fact, I fucked up and fell off of a thing. I don't remember what it was. It was just like a little ledge, but it was a far enough drop that it just killed me. And I didn't know I was doing it because I was trying to scope out a target, and I just fell right off it. Boom! And I hear a crunch, and then reloaded the save point. I was like, I'm a dumbass. And
did you break a leg or something, or did you just hear a crunch and assume you landed on a child or something and just wanted to erase that?
Well, I haven't found any children to fall on yet. So.
It's okay. The child broke my fall.
That's right. No, I actually watched the image turn, but I fell so quick that I don't know, but I think I actually landed on my head and neck. But whatever it was bad.
That's going to slow you down.
Yeah,
on a commando mission.
And and so these guys, there are some guys that will actually counter snipe as you get into later missions. And so it starts getting tricky. And see, like this mission in Gabaroon, I had 3 officers that had orders that I had to take down, but I've got to get the fucking grunts wandering around with them. So you've got Nazis and Italians in there. And it's really weird listening to these guys rant and run around and talk shit in both German and Italian. And they'll figure your shit out and start shooting your direction. And like one time, I didn't even see a guy, and he was like standing right next to me. He goes, "Was?" And he's like, next thing I know, I'm dead. So it's you don't just walk in and just like Rambo this. It's just not going to work.
One just simply not walk into Gabaroon.
Pretty much. And that first mission. Now, granted, I made sure that I almost 100%ed every objective on that map. The only thing I couldn't figure out where to find was a deck of cards. There's like little poker cards that have special backs on them. I don't know where in the fuck on that map it was, but I got every other thing, including like war stories. They're talking about General Valen, whom was a big proponent of nerve gas in World War I. Hitler really liked him, so he made him a general in the Third Reich and had him in charge of shit they were planning for North Africa. And so Valen is a humongous tool, and this is historically correct. He liked torturing people that failed him. And the thing was, he would get gangland thug about it and would actually have your family killed, too, if he was especially pissed at you. And so they actually bring this up where an Italian military officer was stuck dealing with that guy, and he said, I've killed my last officer just because Valen doesn't like him, and he shot himself, and you find him in his tent, just head shot open. And there's the note.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's little shit
everything
like that.
but the torture and family killing is cool.
Right, it's cool.
It's the fact that
it's
the fact that they're being historically relevant and correct with it. And this guy said, "No, I'm done." And it's all of those little things. Who made the game?
Yeah.
Looking it up now because you're good in asking that because I have no idea. I like it is all I know.
I remember it was received pretty well.
Rebellion.
And sort of fell off.
Rebellion was the developer and publisher. And it came out June of 2014. So it's been out for a little while. And I really didn't think I was going to like it anywhere near as much as I do. And it's because it's kind of raw. You don't have body armor. You don't get to just go roll in and just keep gunning shit down. And
that's refreshing every now and then, like to have something where you actually have to think through your you have to kind of read a battlefield.
Oh yeah,
it almost sounds like a vaguely more thematic Hitman in a way.
It kind of is because they will find the bodies that you leave behind and will alert other troops. And apparently, on higher difficulties, they'll sound a base-wide alarm. And it's a bastard. Although here's the thing that takes a minute to get used to is when you get a particular quality kill shot on a target, it will follow the bullet. And then we'll do an X-ray, kind of like the, you know how those models you had when you were a kid of like the internal organs of the see-through man? It turns into that, and you watch the bullet go through, breaking organs and skeletal parts.
It's like Fallout meets Mortal Kombat. It's kind of a good shorthand for it.
And the thing is that I shot a guy through the heart this morning when I was finishing the Gabaroon mission. But that's okay because the last of the 3 officers that I had to take down before finding out, oh, surprise, there's one more guy you got to get on a timer, I got that guy through the top of his head. And it actually gave me the animation where I basically split the bridge between the left and right hemispheres.
So that officer left his heart in Gabaroon, is what you're saying.
I left his heart in Gabaroon. Fuck him.
Scott's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, that's right. And so, yeah, it has a weird. It took a little getting used to, kind of going, oh god, you know, and like every time the fucking shot goes off, and they really give you a sense of heady anticipation and you get a little tense because they even show because bullets are traveling faster than the speed of sound. And so, well, some of them are. Some bullets are subsonic, but, you know, a sniper round, there's enough powder to push it past sonic. And so it actually gives you, like, an image of compressed air around the bullet as the camera is watching it come by.
Blue hedgehog in the background.
Yeah, really. They pulled out all the stops for the animation, and honestly, I can't quite render it to its fullest extent. My system is just a shade under. And I'm a little pissed because I want to know how fucking beautiful it is. Well, actually, if you look at the trailers they have on Steam, the second trailer, that is only slightly prettier than what I can do on my machine.
I guess that probably is a game that's pretty heavily dependent on draw distance too.
I'm
so.
sure.
It is.
Yeah,
oh god,
that's going to make it actual gameplay difference.
Yeah, and they pulled some Far Cry stuff in there. Like you get like depending like there was like an oasis that this Gabaroon base is at. And there's this beautiful little body of water, and there are fucking fireflies in a couple spots. I went crawling under a hole to go get after these guys, and as I'm doing it, fireflies are going around my face. But if you look up, you get to see constellations, and the moon is fucking beautiful. They really went all out on this goddamn game.
You know, if you'd be surprised the amount of games that have fucking gorgeous skies in them, and we never look up.
Never
at
look
them.
up.
I know. It's a thing. I've been noticing it more lately, and this one does not disappoint.
You gotta force shove game mechanics that make people look at your pretty sky when you do that.
Yeah,
You have to just
I know.
shoehorn them in there. You're like,
Yeah,
look how
I
pretty
know,
our
'cause-
stars are. Now look up to reload your ammo somehow.
Yeah, this thing is really good. The one real complaint I have is that you don't. Well, two is I'm a little miffed that you can't jump up and down.
Ooh.
But it's because, I mean, really, how much jumping do you do in real-world combat?
Well,
there
how
at least-
often am I climbing up something?
That's what I was going to ask. Is there at least climbing or clambering?
Well, what they have is you've got, well, they use the word mantle, but yeah, you can clamber over shit and stuff like that. And if you have an area you have to jump over, you just get near it, and they kind of automate it because they know that's not really the concern for them and your gaming experience. So you just get to the edge, you hold down space, and your guy jumps across.
I guess I just picture this game being you figure out where the target is and hide in a hill somewhere, and I think of all the problems I have in games where I can't jump, where I can't hop over this little 2-foot fence that's in my way.
Which would be perfect. Yeah.
I'll tell you,
Perfect height.
I'll put it this way, John. It's a bit that, but not entirely. Because basically, like, I killed my 3 officers, and it revealed that there was a 4th. And I had to go get that. And that's when that goes, surprise, General Valen is going to be here. I think it was Valen. Either that or, like, his second in command. And so now Half-Track drives in from one end of the goddamn base where you just were, but you're now at a different location, and he's about to go right the fuck through. So that's why I had to start the map over, because I had been having too much fun just picking guys off. I quit taking it like a mission by the last third of the map. And so I was deliberately like running them and corralling them other places just because I could. And
then in rolls Jimmy Valen.
Yeah, exactly. And so nice. And I kill that last officer, and I pick up his special orders, and it says the guy's coming through on a half-track. And I go, fuck. And he just drove right the fuck through. And I could not get to him fast enough, failed the mission, so I just had to start it over. So I had lost about 3.5 hours. The neat thing is that the game...
You dropped 3.5 hours on one mission?
Actually, I ended up taking longer than that to do it right. But the thing is that the game kind of rolls out roughly real time. Because if you read stories about World War II snipers that really can, like, taking down whole camps, the Russians have several stories. Hell, there's a hunter, just a guy, villager, that hunted for his life in Russia, that actually killed over 100 German soldiers as they tried to come in, because he was just that much of a badass. But it took them weeks and weeks to find the guy. He just pop a few guys, move. They'd go look for where he was, and they find very little evidence that he was even there because he was used to hunting. And he'd pop a few more guys and move again and pop a few, just like that. And this game has that same dynamic. You can't just stay in one spot and pot shot people. They will come get you. And in later missions, they'll mortar your sorry ass. Yeah, they don't fuck around. As the missions get, as you complete your missions, shit gets worse. I deliberately did not even try the next mission because there were 3 severe bottlenecks, and there's a goddamn Kampfpanzer at the end. That's
Was that mission called the Mortar the Merrier?
It should have been. That's beautiful. Yeah. I wish it had been. Oh my god. Because you get kind of a gumshoe detective narrative. And so it's a 40s era story. So you get that whole when I was in the war, you know, that kind of a thing.
Okay, when you say gumshoe, I think L.A. Noire.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. It's that grim baritone voiceover guy.
Okay. I think of some guy talking about a dame that walked in his office. I'm like, well, that's kind of the opposite of.
Well, yeah, but
she was in a red dress, and that always means trouble.
I
get your point, but I'm taking
that voiceover narrative was used in war movies for years.
So what I'm hearing is Sniper Elite is basically Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Maybe. There's actually apparently a mod that. Okay, I was gonna say I haven't. I almost bought that, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, and then I got.
I haven't been impressed with it. My CEO, the CEO of my company, actually kind of forced it upon me, and he was like, "Here, you want to borrow?" Because we talked about video games for a long time, and I couldn't say no, so I took it home and I played it for a bit, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
New Order or I'm sorry, Old Blood or New Order?
Jeez, I think it's New Order. I'll have to look at it. Yes, it's a full game.
Yeah. You didn't like it, huh? Oh,
No, I haven't.
You
really
didn't
liked
have
it
true
that much.
faith in it, I take it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice New Order joke. I was waiting. I was trying to think of one.
It's missing substance.
It's missing.
Nice.
I could do this all night, folks.
Yeah, I'm
John,
sure
I'll give you one example of it.
It's kind of a Blue Monday, right?
I was about to make that one.
Nicely done. I'll give you the last thing on Sniper Elite for you, John. The game has a... You know how in Far Cry 3 there was the mechanic of using the camera to tag your targets?
I like that.
They do that in normal difficulty with binoculars, and you left-click to choose to tag or untag your various targets. That way it makes life easier for you. Higher difficulty, won't do it. You'll just scope out and look and see who's there, and you have to fucking remember.
So they're really going for kind of the simulator experience then to a degree.
Yeah, the higher the difficulty, the higher the fuck you. Yeah, it really is.
Like, it sounds interesting to me. I never can decide if I would actually want to play it or not.
You're just going to have to either come play it or maybe you might get the idea from watching me go through it. Because, I mean, I think you would enjoy it. Oh, there is co-op. But I don't know anybody else who plays it.
It would be cool if they had one person play like spotter and the other person play sniper.
Oh Christ! If only. I would love that. But
yeah, if they could come up with good spotter mechanics, then I think that would be a really neat game.
God, that would be beautiful.
That's what I was going to ask. I was wondering because in Far Cry, or they do it in Metal Gear Solid. They sort of hand wave a way that you can mark soldiers because you have this super advanced tech, or I don't know, a digital camera. But if you're in the 40s, do they do anything to try and hand wave that away? Do you just have an eidetic memory or something?
On normal difficulty, they don't bother. On normal difficulty, they don't bother. What happens is the higher difficulties, you don't get any of those benefits of gaming tech.
Well, spotter would be a perfect way to sort of go, well, this is why you know where the guys are, because your spotter sees them. Like, yeah. I was just wondering.
And yeah, what it boils down to is that you don't have that luxury because you're the lone sniper that is having to take care of missions because it's too risky or whatever.
Yeah, it's all quiet on the battlefront.
On the battlefront.
Yeah.
There we go. That was a good. That was actually a very good.
That was flawless.
That was World War I.
I know you guys saw stars in that war, didn't you?
If I could assign a letter grade to that pun, it would be A-T. Yeah. A-T.
Which is really just a misshaped plus. Yeah. All right, yeah. So, in case you haven't caught on yet, I picked up Star Wars Battlefront, and have been playing through it. And I loved the original games when they were out, and I've been playing through this one, and I like it a lot. But there's a couple of things that are bothering me about it. Has anybody else picked it up yet?
I have not. I wanted to, but I just didn't get around.
I keep debating on it because I miss playing games with you and Randy and Kevin and all that. But
we all have it now. Well, I think Randy doesn't have it quite yet, but I think it'll be a fun one to play with a lot of people. I think that's going to be more the saving grace on it, because the single player is really not there. There's not really hardly anything for single player. There's these missions that kind of train you at the beginning, and you do little challenge mode things, but it's really a multiplayer game. But one of my biggest gripes right now, which is it kind of seems like it shouldn't be a big gripe or it shouldn't be a big deal with the game, but when you're dealing with a game that is like you're selling nostalgia more than you're even selling anything else in this game. Like, you're selling the fact that you can play as a stormtrooper in these major battles on these major continents and shit. And all of the character unlocks fucking suck. Like, all of the appearance mods and stuff like that look like they're just reskins from like an old Battlefield game. Like, when you're playing Star Wars, like what would you want to have be an unlockable like visage for your character? Like, you want aliens You want like different types of stormtroopers, you know,
Imperial Guard or
Imperial Guard,
some
shit like
some
that.
guy in a $3 devil mask.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want some of that shit, and it's mostly like 95% of your choices are human with different ethnicities and different hairstyles. Like the Rebels, you have like 4 different aliens you can pick from, and those aren't unlocked until you're like level 40 in it. And the Empire is the same way. You get Shadow Trooper and Biker Scout at level 40, and those are like the only cool ones out there. So that's frustrating.
Yeah, it is
First,
actually.
like that's really frustrated me. The second thing that's kind of frustrated me is the blaster differences. Like have been largely kind of not that much fun in playstyle differences. Like there's a couple that are vastly different playstyle differences, but most of them kind of feel fairly similar. And almost everybody is using either the Rebel or the Empire, you know, starter blaster rifle because it's just the most versatile and the best, or one of the pistols. Like you don't see a whole lot of deviation from that in at least in everybody that was killing me, because they'll show you what kind of weapons what blaster they use to kill you, and what they call hands, which are like your special equipment and whatnot.
I did see somebody snipe a TIE fighter.
Mm.
That looked pretty rad.
Yeah, and you can do shit like that. And that's what, you know, the Battlefield games really excel at, is being able to have these gigantic battles and have really crazy shit that happens that you can do. But unlike Battlefield, you can't like jump out of your TIE fighter or something like that. That would be pretty awesome.
Is the flying as bad as the internet says it is in that game?
Oh my god, it's horrible. Like that's the other problem. Is really when you get an X-wing or a TIE fighter power up, like really you might as well just hop in and scream bonsai and fucking hit into a group of people and hope you kill one. Like, because you're gonna
defect and go into space and go home.
Yeah,
you don't have to kill yourself.
If it would let you do that, that would be great. But it will make you.
You have to go to Dagobah while they're.
You have to go train.
It's just the problem is there are no bathrooms in TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Crash that shit in a swamp, son.
I'm just saying, Luke went from fucking Hoth to Dagobah in a fucking X-wing, so.
It's true. He really shouldn't have been able to do that.
By the time he got there, by the time he got there, was an excrement wing.
Yeah.
It was a little ripe. I don't think you could. I honestly, like, Dagobah looks like it smells so bad that I don't think Yoda could tell when he hopped out. Like,
well, and like Luke would know once Yoda pulled that thing out of the swamp, whether it was covered in his shit or just the swamp shit.
Well, that's actually why you notice Luke never really complained about landing in the water. He's probably thinking, "Thank God,
that thing needs a bath."
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Yeah. He's actually probably he's just grateful no one will know he actually just soiled himself all the way there.
No, that's
just
totally mud.
He's rewriting R2's memory the entire time, going, no, I didn't just.
It's like, thank God, not that many people can understand you.
Swamp gas. Swamp gas.
Yeah.
But the flying is pretty bad. Like, I finally gotten to the point where I don't just immediately kill myself every time I get into a TIE fighter. Or like, it's really hard, especially on like Supremacy, where there's not a whole lot of vehicles that you're trying to kill. Like, you're trying to get player kills in those, and that's exceedingly hard. Like, you have to kind of just fly straight up for a minute and then kind of dive bomb and pull up, hopefully before you hit the ground, and then do the same thing again. And
is it just that fast compared to the rest of the motion in the game?
It is. It's really fast. The controls are really kind of weird too. Like your left streak, your left stick is your throttle control on it, which is kind of seems weird to me. I don't know why. I feel like the throttle control should be on the right stick, and I looked at changing it, but if I change the controls on that, it looks like I changed the controls for my regular shooting as well, and I don't want to do that. That's another oversight.
We'll just buy an Xbone and get a $150 controller for it, and then rebuy the game. Problem solved.
Yeah, see, there you go. Easy.
Yeah. Fixed.
Oh, Jesus. But, like, the ATSDs are really fun to stomp around in. A lot of the flying I feel a little bit better with when I actually go into first-person mode rather than the third-person mode for some reason. I feel like I have a better I can gauge the distance to the fucking ground a little bit better that way. But yeah, so the flying's frustrating. The combat is pretty fun. Like it kept me up the other night pretty late playing it, but it is not without problems. It definitely has a lot of problems with it, and the content's a little bit leaves a little bit to be desired in it right now. And I hope that the DLC isn't going to be horribly freaking highway robbery prices.
I'm hoping the DLC will simply fix the
Yeah.
weird shit going on.
Well, I mean, the season pass is like $50, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I heard somewhere that they were going to do some free stuff for kind of the player base, but
Well, they did.
So,
Oh, that's
What
not
was
okay.
What's
Battle
the
for
desert
Jakku.
planet? The Jakku, yeah. Which is basically just Tatooine with some more junk on it.
yeah.
I'd be cool shooting people and freaking crash down Star Destroyers. That sounds badass.
That's the fun part of it. Is a lot the maps are really cool. They're really pretty detailed. They're big, so it feels like 90% of my time I'm running to get shot at is what I'm doing. I'm running,
Well,
shot.
that's Battlefield in general, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is pretty par for the course on Battlefield.
So,
But it's like I have enjoyed playing it. I feel like I would recommend that people wait for a price drop on it before you go through and plunge into it, unless you just a rabid Star Wars fan, which in case you probably already have it.
yeah.
Doesn't EA have that weird pay every month thing? You can access all of their library. Is that part of that?
I have no idea.
That's only for Xbox.
But okay, but is that
EA Access is a monthly service for Xbox. You get to play all of EA's games.
so? I know that they released a bunch of older stuff when it first came out. Are they still dropping new titles on EA Access?
Yeah, you get to play them before everyone else does on EA Access.
Oh, that's right. That was the one where you got like 10 hours to play before the game came out, but you had to pre-order it first or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
sometimes I think you actually get to
That's
play
right.
like a couple days or a week beforehand, but like I think Battlefield was one of those where they either had some additional betas for the EA Access people or like they got in like way early, but
you can't just sign up for EA Access right now if you have an Xbox and be like, all right, let's do this.
yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I don't subscribe to the service. I've heard it's if you like the games EA produces, then I've heard it's a good deal, but you know, you're going to be playing it on Xbox, so.
Oh, it is. It is on EA Access. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Oh, just looked. All right, there you go.
I'm pretty sure all the games that have come out in like the last year or two are on EA Access, so.
I thought I had heard something like that when it first came out, but then it was kind of spotty, and it looked like they were just dropping back catalog and maybe making people wait for new stuff, and so I don't know. Either I'm making that up or they got it taken care of. So
Well,
good
I
on
mean,
them.
Like realistically speaking, EA really only has about 4 decent to good games a year. So next year, I mean, of course, they're going to have Mass Effect, so that's a huge plus in my book. But I'm also going to want the extra special edition that comes with whatever
Fucking shit they decide to.
cheap ass toy statue bullcrap they want to sell me.
Oh, it can't be any worse than that tiny cricket they gave everyone for Dead Space.
Oh, I have that. Man, talk about mistakes. Oh, I was so pissed.
See, actually, that I was just thinking about that too, because then you figure the the super duper special edition Fallout 4 with the Pip-Boy.
That thing actually looks. Well, okay, to say looks, I got to see Justin and Trent's.
Yeah.
When I was
Of course
on
they
the
got 'em.
Tiltcast episode that they never posted.
Ah, nice.
But, I mean, those things are. I mean, they're decent quality,
Exactly my point. Is those things were fucking serious.
but they're that was a $150 set.
I know, but let's remember that I paid roughly that much for Halo 3, and all I got was an underscale Master Chief helmet.
Yeah, I did that.
And I was like, yeah, and then I realized, wait, this is just a stupid helmet
Yeah.
that doesn't.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with at least what I had seen of the Pip-Boy in the Fallout Special Edition. It looked like it looked like because I have a couple friends that make really awesome replicas of Pip-Boys, and it looked a lot like theirs did. So I was pretty impressed.
Okay, We gotta
Yeah,
keep
it's
this
pretty-
thing moving.
Yeah, keep moving.
Stoked about it.
And I'm gonna tell some stories. So I played her story for PC. I'm sure everyone's heard. Well, I say you would have heard this game talk to death, but every time I hear a podcast talk about it, I feel like they don't actually fucking talk about it.
This is the
I almost got this.
me and Lauren want to play this. I think this is the one where you're watching back footage from from police interviews and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to play it. It looks good.
The game is essentially a search engine. You're just presented a desktop and presented a search database, and you just search through it and pull up clips from this interview. And it's fascinating because this story will unfold in completely different ways for everyone. And they have written this story and acted the story to such an extent that there are probably, I don't know, half a dozen to a dozen major revelations that completely change kind of the light on the story that you can discover or completely miss for hours on end. What I wound up doing, and this is not maybe the best way to play it, but I had a good time doing it because I really wanted a game to play with Susie, and this seemed perfect.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like a good two-player on a couch trying to figure something out.
Yeah, big missing person murder mystery type thing.
Yeah, play it with a notebook.
Yeah, but it's not. They don't have the game set up for a controller, so I'm using the Steam controller, and they don't have a game set up for the controller to such an extent that their text field does not register as a text field. So you constantly have to press the Steam button and then select keyboard and then throw in an input. So it was a little bit of a pain, but I got pretty quick at it, and we went through the whole game in one afternoon basically.
Nice.
She wanted to play it since I told her about it. We just sat down and did it. The other fascinating thing is the game wouldn't work if they didn't get a good actress for it. I can't go into the different things that woman has to portray. Then there are some moments where you're like, but she does.
It's worth bringing up. This is full motion video. This is not motion capture or anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is a good point. And they do it's just the one woman, and they do a great job with it. She does a great job with it. The music is sparse, and the the weird thing is that's literally all of the game right there. There's a little bit, there's an itsy bitsy bit that happens after the full motion video, but it's barely even worth mentioning.
How did they work in music if you're basically just using a search engine to pull up interview tapes?
They don't have a story reason for it. You're basically
it's just ambient while you're doing searches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You occasionally hear music. Sometimes the music will change with the video, which will make you think, "Oh, is this more important or not?" And who the fuck knows?
Well,
but it was literally one of those games where me and Susie were taking notes and discussing theories, and then
See, that's great. I miss having games that could do that. You could do that with. I feel like the real star of that show also has got to be that perfectly freaking 90s interface they have for it too.
Oh, well, in the game,
actually,
the game takes place in 1993 or 4 or something like that.
Well, wait, does it take place then, or does it take place now and you're looking at archival footage using an old computer?
Yeah, you're right. It takes place in 2016 or 17, and it took place 23 years ago or something like that. I will say the game, I think I read somewhere or heard someone say that they feel like this is a one-time thing that they could do and you could never make a game like this again, and I completely disagree. I would actually like to see someone take this concept for a game and fully flesh it out, because this game was made by one dude, I believe. One dude and this actress, and I can't remember what the other games the guy did, but he did at least 1 or 2 other indie games that are notable.
Looking him up now.
But he, or maybe he's from a major developer, but to me, this is kind of a perfect execution of something they could do in terms of a murder mystery. I don't know what, hopefully they wouldn't use CSI or something, but that kind of thing where you're filtering through interviews, and then you also have avatar mechanic where your character walks around and maybe talks to some different people.
It seems like it would be the perfect delivery system, like for doing like a season of episodes or something like that on a large.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so it's known, this game was the guy who created it. His prior credits include having created Silent Hill: Shattered Memories.
Huh.
That was it.
Yeah.
He was
Sam
from that,
Barlow.
He was from that company, and he quit to make this game. Is I think
Yep.
what wound up.
He also
happening.
credited as having created a game called Isle, AISLE.
Oh, okay.
I
think
know
that's
nothing about that.
probably a political thriller. That's my guess.
Well, and I bought this game on the Steam sale for like $3, so it really was kind of the perfect storm.
And it's $6 now. I'm gonna go get it here after a little bit and play it. And it's funny that you bring this up, John, because I didn't think that would have been a kind of game you would have cared about. But it's cool to know because now we're going to have to talk about it because I'm going to go get it. But you should maybe take a look at one that I've been thinking about getting, although wait for it to be on sale because it's $20 right now, a game called Cloud Chamber.
Chamber.
It's a similar concept. The idea behind Cloud Chamber amounts to hidden evidence of, life on another planet kind of intrigue, but there's live action and database searching in it. And this was a pretty big deal they did back, was released in August of 2014. So there's at least one other game out there that's relatively in the same territory as what Her Story is. Different story concept, obviously, but the idea of doing live action into a video game, it's becoming a thing now.
I think I remember seeing the trailer for this. Well, and
this is an MMO.
Yeah, because everybody gets to submit their theories on what in the fuck is going on, and you wind up having to compare notes to see if you can actually figure it out.
Huh? That's kind of interesting.
And this, I think, not having played it, I think that's why it gets mixed reviews, is because not many people are good at that. But I don't know because I haven't played it yet, so I couldn't tell you. It might be a piece of shit. But I'm going to get it eventually, and I see there's a 2-pack. I mean, it got 74 out of 100 on Metacritic. I mean, hell, there are games that people love that got less than that. And there's shit that I hate that got more, so,
Weird.
So we'll see, but Her Story, though, I noticed is getting incredibly good reviews. So they probably learned from what Cloud Chamber failed to do right and made Her Story work better. But they're a little bit somewhat in the same territory.
What I suspect is that the reason this is going to sound like I'm shitting on the game. I'm not. I suspect that the reason Her Story has so been positively reviewed is that it's kind of a self-selecting sample. Because to me, I have no interest in that kind of game, and it was very clear when I pulled it up in the store what it was, and then it was a game I wouldn't want to play, so I just didn't buy it. I don't have to buy it and ruin the Metacritic score. I just knew, well, all right, this isn't up my alley. So it seems like one of those things where if that's your deal, you're going to love it.
Right, and what you're saying is that it advertised itself well enough that the people that knew they would like it bought it and liked it. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I don't think this would have made my favorites of the year list, but I think it was a well-executed concept. I thought it was an interesting enough tale to captivate us for an afternoon, and I'd like to see kind of a more definitive story in one of these things in the future.
Well, now you really have me. I almost bought it, and looking at the fact that it's still just like $6 I'm totally going to go get it here.
I'm just saying, like, Scott, this is the perfect type of game to purchase and then sit around and play with, Dominique and Damon or Cat and Maddie or something,
Right. And that's already exactly what I'm thinking. But with my fascination in social engineering, I'm already, just in what little I saw of the trailer, I was deconstructing what I was looking at.
Well, and I would advise just not messing with the trailers at all and just, if you're going to get it, get it. $6 is not anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that I almost did it, but I forgot. And I didn't realize that it was just $6 not on sale.
So real quick, let's keep this thing moving.
Right on.
I'm just going to go through my last topic real quick, and then, Scott, you can talk a little bit about Ghost in the Shell, and we'll move on to our email, if that's...
Yay. Right on.
Everyone good? Okay. And Jake, I don't Did you have something else you were wanting to talk about?
I just wanted to bring up what I picked up on the Steam sale, but nothing aside from 80 days is really worth talking about. So we can move that to next week.
Okay.
Or next time.
Okay, cool.
I was going to say, because you and I are going to have to talk and probably do some time on Civ 5 now that you have it.
Oh, well, I'll tell you the story when we end the call here.
Right on.
All right. So, I bought a Wii U. Wii U. Yeah.
You got conned into it finally?
I'd been kind of wanting one for a while, and it's when I pre-ordered Xenoblade Chronicles X. I always want to call it the wrong series of names.
Because there's so many of those.
To be
so
fair,
many
that's
different
not
series of names.
Yeah, that's not on you.
Yeah, that's on the Xeno people.
Well, it doesn't help.
The Xeno people.
Xeno people.
Xenos.
It's not on you. It's on Wii U.
Those damn xenophobe Xenos.
Yeah.
But so, like, I basically had pre-ordered that game, and I'd owned it about a month, and then I got a good enough Christmas bonus that I wanted to get one, and I knew there were a couple games coming out that I was interested in, and honestly, what kind of pushed me over the edge was I heard there was a Mario Maker bundle, which I wasn't aware of. And Mario Maker is a game I still haven't played because I don't like Mario, so it's kind of dumb that I bought that. I just want to know why everyone else is so excited about a game I don't give a shit about.
It's because they all love Mario.
I'm a really bad person sometimes. Yeah, I don't. I will say it did come with a Mario amiibo that's all like pixely. That's kind of cool. But again, I think Mario's stupid. I'm not really a platformer guy. What I wanted to talk about on here was setting up the Wii U. And I realize as Nintendo fans, you guys are used to getting, like, not you guys, but maybe if there's one in the audience, you guys are used to getting the shit kicked out of you on these. And I'm not going to say positive things right now, but
oh God,
I'm going to kick you in the balls a little bit.
I will try not to be as big a douchebag
as you want to,
as I could. So I apologize. Just the tip. So, okay. One, this thing is accessory hell. Like, I mean, granted, you already know you get the big handheld interface, but it also comes with a Wii U sensor bar. And, you know, you have
Does it actually stay anywhere you try to put it this time?
Yeah, no shit. Flimsy
Instead of just falling
plastic.
off the back of the TV over and
it's
over?
so lightweight
Every
that
time
the
the
wire
cats
would
come
make
by.
it shift. Yeah.
It's the exact same model, and it didn't come with a stand. So,
Nope.
nope. The sensor bar is only required if you want to use Wii stuff, right? But it still wants it in. I think it still wanted it in setup. My setup took me approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours, and I bitched about it on Twitter, where someone quickly told me I was a liar and said they set theirs up in like 15 minutes, and then I told them they were a liar, and you get the picture. But
To be fair, you're not exactly tech savvy. I mean, setting up technology isn't really up your alley, so
Yeah, it's not like he has to do it all the time. It's fine.
Which is funny because John used to build PCs for a job.
Yeah.
considering I've built every PC I've owned since I was 16,
Which hasn't always worked out that well, though.
but you should have been building Nintendos, is what
I
you're
know.
saying.
That's where your money is.
But point being, okay, so you got 2 power bricks for this fucking thing. You have a power brick for the Wii U unit, and then you have a power brick for the controller.
Oh,
the
Jesus
controller
Christ.
doesn't come charged either.
Wait a minute. Oh, that's right. You do have a power brick for because that big ass tablet thing.
So
I forgot
Power.
about
the controller comes with 2 stands. One is a charging stand, which I don't use at all, like, because you can just plug the power directly into it. So why the fuck would you ever use a charging stand? And the second one is, I guess, if you want to play Wii games on it, you have a stand to prop it up in or something. The lengthiest part of the process, I mean, of course it has a download patch. Everyone does. It's, you know, the download patch took probably a half hour to download and install, which is still about a half hour to an hour better than the Xbox One did. But the thing that killed me was transferring my bot content from my Wii to my Wii U.
I've heard that a lot.
This process goes something like this. You are required to have an SD card, right? which probably came with either this unit or the Wii U or whatnot. So what you have to do is you have to download the Wii U transfer software onto your Wii and your Wii U. So my Wii had not been online in years. So remembering, like, one, like, I'm a lazy man, so I didn't get up and go look at my router to see what type of encryption I use. And two, I haven't used a unit that didn't immediately search for my SSIDs in forever. So when I'm typing in my SSID, I had completely forgotten that it was case sensitive. So there goes.
That's a headache.
And it's also on the Wii, you can't cancel out of it once you start searching for it. You just have to wait the 5 minutes or whatever for it to end. So anyway, so download it to my Wii, and then now to figure out how to download it on the Wii U, because you can't download it to the Wii U dashboard. You have to go into the Wii U Virtual Console, which to use the Wii Virtual Console, you have to sync a Wii Remote to it, which means I had to hook up the sensor bar and do that bit, right? So
how far away was the store that you bought this from that it wasn't just quicker to just take it back? Did you drive to Florida for it or something?
No,
Yeah, really.
That's the only appropriate response.
Walmart across the street.
Yeah.
You can just huck it from your front yard then.
Yeah.
Well, not
Church
quite.
sender,
That
post it.
I will give them compliments, though.
He could walk it over. That's for damn sure. It's like, no.
Because once you start the data transfer, and the actual data transfer itself probably took a half hour to 45 minutes, but you're watching a Pikmin video of Pikmin taking the data out of your Wii and then boarding a ship and then flying off. And
They do have awesome loading screens. So
it's not like a static loading screen either, so you're not just watching them take it out of one location. They are journeying like all these different places, so it's not really repetitive scenery. So that was pleasing. And the rocket ship, of course, is the SD card that you take out and put in your Wii U and install.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
The rocket ship is the SD card. Okay, I'll say, all right, I'll give you that. That is actually some cute shit.
It was
but
cute.
It's not enough to make up for what you just described.
And then
An hour and a half line at Six Flags is better because you get to watch Looney Tunes, but that doesn't mean that it makes standing in line fun.
well, and here's the
Yeah.
kick in the balls after all this, right? So I had bought, I don't know, 5 or 6 SNES, NES games, assortment of them on Wii. When it transferred it over to the Wii U, they are all locked in the Wii Virtual Console, and I have to give Nintendo more money if I want them on the Wii U console.
Oh, Jesus
What?
Christ.
What's the
Yep.
point of transferring anything
I
if you have to
would-
rebuy it?
That was my reaction when I saw it.
That
I
is
was like,
offensive.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well,
Welcome to some bullshit. So that's my that's
I'm
my
John
Wii U
MusiM.
story.
That's horrifying. Like
I will be buying games and stuff for it, and I will say having that giant thing as a TV remote that works even without like the Wii U being on is nice, and being able to. Because the first night I had it, like I set it up, and Susie's like, "You should bring it upstairs." And by the time I brought it upstairs, after I'd done all the loading, she was playing Shadow of Mordor and wouldn't let me have the TV. And I was like, "Well, just give it to me for 5 minutes." So I just hooked it up, moved it to the gamepad, and got to play the Wii U on the gamepad.
See,
while she
that's
was
the
playing.
only thing that I think is the saving grace of that whole console is I can stop playing. I don't have to stop playing whatever it is to take a shit. Like I can go through and take that remote into the bathroom,
Yeah.
and I can keep playing whatever the fuck I was
dude,
playing.
NVIDIA Shield.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Mario going down green pipes, you're going down, well...
Yeah. Other ones.
so
Other pipe.
let's keep this moving.
There's like, you're doubling the plumbing here. Just no. I don't know, John.
You're
They can have some
doubling-
augmented reality toilet Mario. There.
Oh, God.
See, I was just gonna go with like how Nintendo's fucking soulless and just a fucking shell. And
Oh, there. Yeah.
I
there are
told
ghosts of
people
their
I
former
wasn't-
Shell.
I told people I wasn't gonna do this, and then I went for the pun and realized I was being an asshole to Nintendo fans. I'm sorry, Nintendo fans. People love Mario Maker. Enjoy your 5 minutes.
Just say something about a boo or a haunted house, and you'll be fine.
Pretty much. I don't know. The way I look at it is, I thought that the GameCube was a brilliant platform that was basically hobbled by an inexplicable lack of popularity.
I loved the GameCube.
Yeah, I thought that thing was brilliant. It hauled ass for what it was, but It was the last one they did that was actually an advanced design. The Wii was the same guts as the GameCube, just slightly slightly hopped up and refined. And the Wii U is a refinement and hopped up version of the Wii. The specs, the processor, it is actually related to the original Wii. I looked that shit up when it came out, and I was like, man, you guys are like going for efficiency of code, but you're not giving us like the actual new things.
So tell us about Ghost in the Shell, Scott.
Ghost in the Shell. All right, so we have Ghost in the Shell, standalone complex, First Strike Online. Oh, I know, huge-ass name. But it's actually a nice first-person shooter. It's early access. I thought it was going to be free to play, but apparently I'm wrong. And I don't know, because I swear to God, I read a thing that they themselves said was going to be free to play, but it's not right now.
Well, and
but it is still early access, so maybe that'll change. But I like it. I've enjoyed playing it, and if you're a fan of the Ghost in the Shell universe, you should like it. If you're a fan of standalone complex, you should give it a try. Just do like the cheaper, like $5 pack to get in on it. And
God, this thing is just full of colons. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Purple Eagle has landed. All that stuff. I'll see you later.
Right on. Do what you need.
See you, Joey.
All right, bye.
This thing, and there's the title. Thank you. Yeah, do your thing, Joey. But I like it. It's taken a little getting used to because it's not like Battlefield in your face, your kind of thing. It's a little on the subtle side, kind of like the show. But you can pick. You basically get to be any one of the major characters of Section 9 from the anime. So you get to pick one. Generally, you pick one because Trent from Tiltcast, bless you, got me the Elite Access Pack. I can pick a second guy. I just haven't decided on who the hell I'm going to do yet because I fanboyed it straight into going as Major Motoko Kusanagi. Just straight up. Didn't try to think it out. It was like,
This looks like a first-person squad-based shooter.
It is. It's got some team elements to it that work a lot like the first-person shooter Syndicate, but it moves better. It's easier to pull off, and basically, yeah, like Kusanagi, the Major, her ability is cloaking armor. But if you are close enough to her, and if you've gotten enough kills on your own without her, you will be able to sync up your armor to her armor's ability if you're close enough, and you will gain her cloaking. Just like if you play Borma, you can get enough kills, and you can then donate your gel armor capacity to other people that have killed just enough people to benefit from it as well. And you go in, and you've got a team of tanks for a few seconds, but that might make the difference if you time it right. And it's stuff like that. You can upgrade your guns, kind of like Brink, or like Sniper Elite 3, by the way. You can upgrade your weaponry there, too. It's all these little subtle things that when you first jump in, you don't feel the benefit, and so you're kind of going, this is kind of shit. But the movement is good, and it is definitely... it's definitely squad, and it is team-on-team 24/7. The tutorial actually has the voice of the one, I forget her name, who did the voice of the American dub of Major Kusanagi through all of that. She's there. Bateau, he's in there talking to you if you play as the Major, and vice versa if you go in as one of the others. They took some time. They didn't pull out every possible stop they did to give you a product, say like with, well, I'll go with Sniper Elite 3, because they really hauled ass on a lot of your environment. But the environment in this is solid. It is actually good enough, and it's early access. It's not even done yet. So that's already off to a good start. It has some... I won't say it's like Warframe, but I want to say it is because it's going to come out and it may end up being the free-to-play thing, but it does not move at all like it. Not at all.
Well, and I watched like a preview on it because I got it too from Trent, but I just haven't. I got in and then my caps lock key wasn't working, and so I really haven't actually played it. But
yeah, when you get that taken care of, John, you and I need to go in as a team because we've always FPS'd pretty well together on that kind of shit, and I think this one would work particularly well because the maps are tighter, and they're meant to be tighter because they want it to be bottleneck, team on team, never find a dead spot.
So, just quick minor thing. The actress who, at least I'm used to hearing as the Major. Oh, weird. Well, maybe she wasn't in the original movie, but she was the Major in Standalone Complex and Innocence.
Right.
Is Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, and she is not in this game that I see, or at least it's not on her IMDb.
Really?
So,
It sounded like her. I was convinced. Okay.
Who knows? Maybe it's just not updated yet. I mean, it's not like IMDb is the most accurate ever. But
yeah, I was gonna say IMDb has no entry for First Strike, so maybe.
She did get nixed for the last anime series they did, a Ghost in the Shell too.
Man, but to be fair, that started life as an OVA and therefore was not officially canon. And now they've decided, well, maybe it is, but maybe not. They can't decide.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
if
I don't like that last one.
There are aspects of the show I like. I hate Major's origin in it, though. I wish they had never even gone there. But anyway,
yeah, there's something to be said for that. I'm all right with it, but that also because I got started on that when I was a teenager.
Yeah. So
because I saw the original when it came to the U.S. on video, and it just blew my mind. And I was like, oh, that is so awesome. And I was just all about the idea. And then I was just like, oh, that's so cool. And got nothing. And then all of a sudden, Standalone Complex came up, and I was all about it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably more. I would imagine by evidence right there, I am more of a fan of the show than you are. So I'm automatically a little more given to it.
Well, no, I love Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. I thought it was great. The original movie, I never was too enthralled with the story, but I always thought it was fucking gorgeous artwork.
Oh yeah.
Ghost in the Shell Innocence, that didn't do anything for me. Ghost in the Shell Arise, I thought was okay. I just hated that they gave her an origin. Like I love the Ghost in the Shell universe and world, but I don't think they've ever topped the whole first season Laughing Man story of Standalone Complex. So
yeah, I agree. And okay, so what I'm seeing here is that voice cast, that's Mary Elizabeth McGlynn as Major Kusanagi.
Sweet. That's what I want to hear. If the people aren't also familiar with her, she also does all the female singing for the Silent Hill songs with Akira Yamaoka. She is also... Who does she play in Naruto?
Well, she was Queen Metalia in Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yeah, she gets typecast a lot in her voice acting, but...
well, yeah, it's not surprising. A lot of them do. Hey, John.
Yeah.
Persona 4, the animation. She did Naoto Shirogane, Noriko Kishawagi, and Hisano Kuroda.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, anyway, so...
what it boils down to is that the game is actually a little bit of a sleeper. I like it, but it's going to take a little more fine tuning of the mechanics for them to really, I think, grab people and get them to jump in and really do it.
Well, and this will be an evolving conversation too. I doubt this is the last time we'll talk about it. I know
I hope not, because it's not an official release yet. This is early access.
You're right. So, but you guys ready to move on to an email?
I am totally. Yep.
Okay. So, from our good friend Ian.
Hey,
Ian.
To segue to the pun zone. Space. It's like Joey.
Where's Joey with the microphone? Where's Joey? We need to write a space.
I just realized since Joey left, yep, I forgot our thing is fucked up. Will that fix it? Hey, that fixed it. Okay.
It's funny that he's space because his chair has been occupied by a void.
Mr. Beyonce, bouncing back, and Scoticus Aurelius Maximus, a.k.a. Mr. Talia Al Ghul, and Trolled. Happy New Year's, fellas. Nothing is better when MusiM is tired and angry casting, or when Scott goes off on how much he hates Talia.
Yeah, it was a real fun episode to be on this corner. Yeah. I was a real happy member of that fucking triangle.
Oh, that was not your favorite Eiffel Tower, huh?
On to the questions for the cast. I just finished Tales from the Borderland and Life is Strange. Tales was the best of the Telltale games I've played so far, in my opinion, and I've played all of them but Game of Thrones. Tales was an A- overall until the last 3 segments of the last chapter where the game became an A+. Life is Strange might be the best game I've ever played. I have never had a game make me cry or affecting me like Life is Strange. It just stays with you. So my question is, where would you like to see this genre of gaming going? Personally, unless JRPGs come back in a big way, this is my current wheelhouse this gen.
I can answer that very quickly. I want to see it go roughly the direction of Her Story. I think that what Telltale is doing and the concept behind Her Story need to be put together. They should be one and the same.
I think they would complement each other to a degree. Telltale would just have to put less gears in it. I should mention, I haven't gotten to play either of the 2 games he mentioned yet. They're on my to-do list. I'm
going to go pick up and do not Tales from the Borderland.
Life is Strange.
Yeah, people keep swearing by it, and I keep almost doing it, but I figure now that the holidays are done and the chaos is finally backing down, I'm going to do that.
Well, it's by the same developer who did, I just blanked out on the name. I think it got voted for the TVGP Game Club last month? Or was it this month?
Well, this month we're doing Remember Me, and last month was...
Okay, Remember Me. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
French people.
Yeah, and that game, like... It has a lot of faults. It has a whole lot of faults, but it is experimental as fuck, and I am really curious to see what those guys just, like, to me, it's Life is Strange seems like they just got to produce a really crazy idea, so I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, Don't Nod is who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or Don't Nod, however it's pronounced. But yeah, they did Remember Me and Life is Strange. Those are the only 2 things they're known for currently. But everything I've seen of Life is Strange looks fantastic. It's just haven't had the time or the cash to just throw down on something that is not my normal thing. But I'm seriously thinking about it the more I look at this.
Well, and I only have I really have to space out my kind of choose your own adventure games like these, because I just can't do them that often.
Yeah.
Like, me and Susie played Wolf Among Us a couple months ago, and now I'm about ready to the point to play another game like that again. And I'm probably going to do Life is Strange first, and then, maybe next summer pick up Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah. I honestly, Tales from the Borderlands has done nothing to engage me yet.
I've heard a lot of people say positive things about it.
It's fine. The first episode is okay so far. I got to get in one of those big loaders and shoot down dudes in first person, and it's fine. It hasn't gotten its hooks in me yet, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, it just that what I know about it seems to, from everything that people have told me, it has done the thing that I was hoping it would not do in being a prequel. And so, I just can't be brought to give a damn about it.
But they don't seem to be real interested in doing anything to sort of flesh out any more sequels if it's not a main game.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd ever see them doing that with a Telltale game.
Yeah, I don't know, because Telltale has done some neat stuff, although I think, well, in fact, it's on my screen right now. Minecraft Story Mode, the new Telltale game, I think that feels like they're trying a little too hard there.
Well, there are 2 properties I would actually like to see Telltale get a hold of. One of which, I guess, is almost less the property and more the author, but Sandman, Vertigo, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think the Eternals would be fucking pure bait for this shit.
Now, that is actually a good point. Something like that would be.
Like, I think Neil Gaiman would actually work out real well for that. I think you could take American Gods and make a cool story out of it. I think you could take Neverwhere and make a cool story. I think any of the Gaiman properties would work out well.
You just gave me a great idea based on that, too. Back in the late 90s, there were 2 or 3 Monty Python games. One was semi-story-ish. And the other, and there was one that basically involved a lot of the Python guys. That's right, it was 2 different Monty Python games. There's a third one where you were wandering around a cruise ship, and it just happened to have the vast majority of the cast of Monty Python in it. The thing is that the stuff they were doing actually would be very given to a non sequitur, irony-based comedy story run that I think Telltale's methodology would actually work really good for. And now that you bring that, now you say it that way, yeah, it just made me think that would actually be a really good example. And the other one that I keep thinking of, and I've thought about this for probably a year or better now, is an old childhood novel series that I used to read when I was a kid. And that was Alfred Hitchcock's The Three Investigators. I think that would actually go over quite well in the concept because back
they already did Sam and Max. What are you doing here? We're rehashing old material.
I wouldn't say
Sam
that.
and Max is
have you ever read a Three Investigators book?
I'm just fucking with you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't see that, but yeah, no, Sam and Max. That's actually nice that you bring it up. That would be good. I like that. No, actually, John has a really good point with that. Something like some of your weirder, esoteric comics, like Vertigo stuff, would actually be a good idea.
I think any of Cosmic Marvel would work out well too for it. But let's keep this thing moving. He's got another half of his email, and we're running long. So
shit. Okay.
Okay.
We are, aren't we? Sorry.
Oh, no problem. We started a little late, so it's not too big a deal. But we're encroaching on when that late time would be made up.
Okay.
So, I know Telltale is making a Batman game, but what makes the most sense to me is Marvel Studios taking like 90s X-Men titles and storylines and putting them into this style of game. I would love to play Executioner, Song, or any stories from that era in a point-and-click adventure. Or just take that generation of comics and make a new adventure. Something involving X-Men Blue and Gold, X-Factor with Havoc, X-Force with Cable, and Excalibur would be unreal. I think the medium would also be epic for retro cartoons like The Real Ghostbusters and Nicktoons like Rocko's Modern Life. What would you like to see? Are you a fan of the genre? So I guess we kind of answered that. But JZ, you haven't said anything.
I am sort of, and it's really a volume thing. I am tired of Telltale games. And it's because they're handling so many properties at once, and although there are variations, they all sort of kind of do the same thing, and I'm tired of the art style, and I know all that stuff is deliberate, and they have to do it that way to sort of stay on track when they're trying to make 7 of these at once. As far as adventure games, I've been leaning more towards the FMV stuff lately because it's become possible for like an indie to be able to do it because you can just get a $300 camera and be able to shoot good looking footage on it. Something I've been playing lately, and it is a way budget title, and even at $4, the first episode is still too much on Steam. There's a game called it was made by I think it's a Quebecois studio, French Canadian. It's all in English. There's a couple of Quebec people accents in it. It's called Missing: an interactive thriller. It's the punctuation, not the word.
Missing colon.
That would be. I don't want that to be interactive at all. I don't want it to be point or click.
I'm looking at it right now, and I already see the appeal you're finding in it.
Is it cancer?
No, it's sort of a Saw knockoff, and it's clearly made by a handful of people, and it's sort of goofy, but the way that they got the movement down as far as moving, back in the day, if you had an FMV, it would be frame, car door open, frame car door closed, Where here you can open up a car door, and it's almost video fluid.
I see, yeah.
It's super immersive. And again, for what you get out of this, I played it to completion, and I have 0.7 hours on record. It's only got one episode out. It's been out since May. I don't know that this is going anywhere, but it was a real cool, fun little... That's where I want to see adventure games go, is more towards FMV stuff and more kind of... I'm tired of the people who have capitalized the market. So.
Yeah,
I'm looking at this. It is intriguing. And was that actually the guy who played Lionel Luthor in Smallville that I just saw in there?
It could be. I don't know. I never watched Smallville.
It looked a lot like him.
You know, now that you've said that, my mind just went off in these, like, let's take these really goofy things and make them into this. Like, give it, who makes the best racing games nowadays? I guess, give the Forza people the Fast and the Furious license and have them make a Telltale Fast and Furious style choose your own adventure, but with racing in it. Like,
well, if they can load different engines for the different necessary parts, then yeah. And I don't want Telltale trying to do a racing game engine.
Another thing I would play is that stupid Dark Rangers YouTube video that they did of the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah,
like
no.
give me an 8-hour
FMV straight out, same video quality as that short.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would play the shit out of that. I didn't even like the Power Rangers.
I didn't either. It would be the best over dramatic joke ever. It'd be wonderful.
That YouTube. On its own, that YouTube video was fucking rad. Like, all nostalgia aside, because I don't have any, that by itself was fucking rad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so we should probably wrap this up. Do you guys have closing thoughts on this? Or
I do have a couple. Because all of these things are great damn ideas, and it occurs to me that another nice thing, comic book properties. Personally, if I were to put a comic book property in there that I would want to see, John knows what I'm about to say because it's my favorite, but it's one that won't be done, was X-Men God Loves Man Kills. It was the apex of the whole racial prejudice thing, using mutants as the prejudiced people. But it was a really good storyline from 82, 83?
Yeah, I mean, it was, to me, the 80s X-Men is Claremont Prime. And, Scott, yes. You are not alone in your love for that novel.
I know. It was so good, that entire thing leading up to it and actually kind of coming off of it. It was a really good run for that period. So I think that would be good, but I know that it's not going to happen because Marvel is still mad at Fox. And so all things X-Men are getting kind of put on the back burner with prejudice. Ironic that. But the Inhumans use it as a platform to prime the audience for what's coming with future movie titles. I think that DC could try it as well. But DC isn't reaching for the esoteric so much as, reaching for the cheese that no one wants, with, an Aquaman
Careful.
movie. You want an Aquaman movie?
I'd watch an Aquaman movie.
Okay. Because you're getting one.
Jake is a resident DC fan, so...
Well, I'm not an apologist.
I call
them out when they're dumb.
Yep, and exactly. Because there are some things DC that I like, but not many, and I'm really bothered by other things. But, Marvel's done the same thing, so it's not like any one of them is any better. It's just that Marvel has been at it longer to the point that they're reaching for the more unusual shit.
So why are we talking about this like a real genre? It's not a real genre until they've made a porn game out of it. So where's my porn FMV Telltale game?
Oh, with Katie Sackhoff. Yes.
Or sack on at that point.
Wow.
Oh, I hurt myself already on that. Oh God. Oh, that hurt.
It's not even like. It's not even really her having sex. They just splice in clips of her from Battlestar every once in a while.
Yeah, sure, fine.
Pretty
sack on, sack off.
Oh no. Oh, I made it worse just by having suggested that. Oh, the power of no.
Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm good. I'll shut up.
Take us out of here, Jake.
Eh? What am I taking us out of?
What all have you done?
Aren't you doing the closing words?
Tell us your stuff.
And things.
Oh, no, I meant I was going to take the last section. We're skipping my section. You just do your thing, man.
That's what you meant. Okay, I thought you meant. Okay, well, great. Okay, so I'll make just elongate this for me to cut.
That's right. We'll make it more awkward for you, John.
Okay. Well,
actually,
thanks.
Did you have anything else to cover?
It can wait.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is 9:40, man. We need to close up shop. So,
point taken.
Jake, where can we find you?
I'm TheOtherJZee on Twitter. That's TheOtherJZee. I'm also on the TVG Game Club over at tvgp.tv/forum. We are going to be recording this Thursday, and we are going to be playing Remember Me. So if you have a copy and want to play along and then listen in, you can find us on Twitch, all that good stuff. And that's where I'll be, playing Remember Me all week.
Scott, where can we find you?
Oh, mostly here.
Okay.
I mean, you can find me on Twitter, but I don't say anything interesting.
Yeah, you need to start a Twitch channel, but...
yeah, you should, probably.
And you can find us at thecarouselpodcast.com. Find us on iTunes and rate us, review us, so other people can find us. And you can email us at carouselpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter as Carousel Podcast. Buy my music at MusiM.bandcamp.com, and we will see you next turn.
Later, guys.
See ya.
We miss you, Joey.
Yep.
Okay, so titles.
Titles.
We
got an ass load this week, and they all involve colons.
Yeah. Okay, so ones that we've got in there, cotton canvasy pants. I just really actually love reading that. That's hilarious.
Well, let's start at the top of the list.
Okay, starting, well, I screwed up and was putting him in the wrong channel on accident. So there was, a certain bald dude. I have multiple fat men. Mother Faulkner. Then some
Mother
guy
Faulkner was very funny, but I don't know that it works as a title.
No, I don't either. But
it was very funny though. I liked that joke.
Yeah, a wide array of junk. Let's see, and then more Faulkner jokes. And then the cotton canvasy pants. The child broke my fall. The Mortar the Merrier. That I fucking like.
That would have been good for December.
Yeah, I know. Some guy in a $3 devil mask.
Okay, good but too long.
Excrement wing.
I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good shit. The rocket ship is the SD card. Augmented reality toilet Mario.
That's not bad.
Yep, this thing is full of colons. And then missing colon, the interactive thriller.
I like everything that's involved with bungholes on this list.
That should be its own title.
Excrement wing. This thing is full of colons and missing colon, an interactive thriller.
See, I'm pretty fond of the Mortar the Merrier.
I can live with that.
I love that, but yeah, I see how it's not quite timed for the holidays, but the Mortar the Merrier is really fucking good. They're all good. There's so many of these are good because, like, missing colon, that was great.
I'm pretty fond of a lot of our Faulkner ones, too.
Yeah, but that won't make sense to anybody but us.
Let's see.
I'll throw in.
Are you going to keep our image PG if we pick one of the colon ones?
I would. Wasn't there someone named Colon? Isn't it Bartolo Colon or something like that? He's a baseball player.
I'm just saying, don't put a fucking anus on our website. Is what I'm saying.
What if it's? Can I do one as long as?
What about Colin Powell?
You both can't talk to me at the same time and have me hear you.
Go, Jake.
Can I do a colon as long as it's not prolapsed? I'm trying to meet you halfway here. I can make it work, but I can live with the Mortar the Merrier too.
Hey, that was your line too. That was good shit. The Mortar the Merrier. I love that. That's
pretty damn punchy.
Yeah, let's go with that then. Let's just do that.
Yep, okay. Should be the Mortar. Shouldn't it be the Mortar, the Merrier?
I don't
care. It's still funny either way. I don't give a shit.
I'm
just thinking of actual punctuation.
I'll have to look it up. Maybe I could work a colon into that.
Okay, I can see that. Okay, well, thank you for everyone joining us on the live stream, and we're heading out.
Right on. We'll see.